Your camera is technology, your photography is art. Hello everyone, my name is Ming. Welcome to this video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my take on if gear matters. Does gear matter? If you search that question on YouTube, many YouTubers or photographers will tell you gear doesn't matter, even though I believe many of them already have a high-end full-frame camera. Anyway, does gear really matter? I think it depends on your situation. There could be different levels and gear matters differently in each level. Let me explain. First, you need to know what is the right tool, what is the right gear for your work. For example, let's say if you want to shoot birds, you and your friends go out to shoot birds, your friend got a very big 600mm prime lens and a camera that is fantastic at tracking focus. All you got is let's say a wide-angle GoPro. So in this case, apparently your friend is going to capture better, closer, intimate photos of birds. Let's assume he knows how to operate his camera. Then you got wide-angle shots where the birds appears very, very small in your photos. This example may seem extreme, but that shows the point. Sometimes you do have the right gear for the photos that you are going after. For example, this photo was taken by Nikon D3200, which is an entry-level DSLR, cost only about $400, including 2 kit lenses. But keep in mind, it's still a DSLR, which means it gives you ability to control ISO, aperture, and shutter speed separately. I did exposed for 30 seconds for this photo. Now, let's assume I didn't have a DSLR for this photo. Let's assume I only got a Android phone at that time. Could I get away with the same quality with a Android phone? I don't think so. Could I get away with the same quality with a GoPro? I don't think so. So I did need the right gear to capture that photo. Now, we know landscape photographers tend to pick different lenses compared to portrait photographers, compared to wildlife photographers. Now, if you give an excellent 12 to 24mm f2.8 lens to a wildlife photographer who is used to be shooting at 600mm, then he wouldn't be able to get the same closer, intimate shot of animals. And if you give a 600mm to an astrophotographer, then he wouldn't be able to get the whole band of Milky Way. So as you can see, gear doesn't matter. You need to find out what's the right gear for you. But also remember, the right tool for you, the right gear for you doesn't mean the most expensive gear. Right gear means it's suitable for your photography type and the price is reasonable compared to your budget. Now let's move on to the next level, technical skills. By technical skills, I mean if you can get the exposure right, if you can nail the focus, if you can get a sharp photo, if there are any clipped information in your photos. And at the technical skills level, I think gear matters less. And for some people, gear certainly can still help you to get the technical stuff right. For example, for beginners who don't know how to do exposure bracketing or don't know how to blend exposures, or for pros who just want to save time and not to do these steps, a camera with high dynamic range certainly can help you if you want to shoot landscape photography, because you can just pull up the raw files in Lightroom and use the highlight slider or shadow slider to bring down the highlight or boost the shadow, and boom, you still got a clean photo. Let's say if you are not sure about exposures, then in this case, a mirrorless camera can help you because of the electronic viewfinder allows you to preview the exposure. So you can know the exposure before you actually take the photo. So in this case, mirrorless camera can help you to get the exposure right. Focus peaking help you to make sure your subject is in focus. You know, all these features from a camera can certainly help you to get the technical stuff right. Of course, there could be some people who don't need this feature. If you're a portrait photographer, you maybe don't need that high dynamic range. You can get the exposure right every single time. Maybe you can nail the focus every single time. So for those people, this feature matters less, or maybe it doesn't matter at all. But for some other people, this feature can certainly help them to get the focus right, to get the exposure right. So I think at this level, depending on your situation, gear matters less because it matters less to some people, but for some other people, it can certainly help. Now, let's move on to the third level, which is also the most important level. That is artistic skills. I think that's the difference between a photographer and a photo taker. To me, a photographer is an artist, which means it must involve some artistic decisions, thoughts, expression, vision in their final work. And photo takers just take photos without thinking much about composition, storytelling, lighting, etc. So in this level, I believe gear doesn't matter at all. Because the gear cannot make the artistic decisions for you. You have to know what is the composition. You have to know which aperture to use. You have to know if it should be a long exposure or should be a fast to capture actions. You need to know if you need to shoot at greater depth of field or shallow depth of field. You need to have the artistic control over your image. No gear can help you at this level. So, if you ask me, does gear matter? I would say, I don't know, depend on your situation. If you are in the first level, you are just starting out, you are just looking to buy your first camera, first lens, I would say gear matters. Figure out what kind of photography you are interested in and pick the right lens, pick the right aperture, pick the right camera. But also remember, the right tool for you, the right gear for you doesn't mean the most expensive gear. Now, if you are in the second level, gear certainly matters less to you. If you can get all the technical stuff right, maybe gear doesn't matter to you at all. But if you cannot get the technical stuff right, and some certain gear can certainly help you in this case. Or maybe you can just learn to improve your technical skills, learn how to get the exposure right, learn how to get the focus right, so you don't depend on the gear, and you are making the gear matters less to you. If you are in the third level, if you already have the right gear, you already nailed the technical skills, and you are looking to develop your unique style, artistic style, then I would say gear doesn't matter to you at all. But don't get me wrong, keep in mind, the right gear at the bottom doesn't mean it's the most important. The right gear at the bottom actually means it's the least important. And getting technical skills right is more important. And your artistic skills is the most important. Remember, the final work you produce contains gear, your technical skills, and your artistic skills. I would not say gear doesn't matter at all, but I would definitely say your artistic skills matter the most. Everyone with money can buy the gear, but not everyone who has the gear can nail the technical stuff. And it is your artistic skills that make your final work stand out. Alright guys, this is my understanding on this topic. I just want to share this with you. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you are not subscribed already, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.